Invisible systems govern everything from the software in our pockets to the recurring everyday patterns in our homes. When these structures no longer make sense, the world feels like a labyrinth without a map. We interact with technology that feels like a black box, and we often treat our own repeated personal mistakes with the same sense of mystery. Billions of dollars are funneled into optimizing the algorithms on our servers, while the psychological patterns that drive our lives are often left to run on legacy code. Making sense of this noise requires stripping away the labels and breaking these systems down to their smallest working truths. Navigating complexity is less about finding a secret key and more about deconstructing the hidden rules that dictate how we operate. At the floor of the machine, intelligence is a mechanical process. It begins by sorting raw data based on simple, observable traits, separating a pile of objects by looking only at their texture or their shine. The connecting lines represent weights, dictating the influence each data piece has on the prediction. A red bar chart measures the error margin, the gap between prediction and target. Messages then flow backward, shrinking the error by adjusting the line thickness. This is backpropagation. The result is a system of constant, calculated error correction, rather than a sentient brain. This same architecture of weights and feedback loops exists within our own behavior. A notification glows in a dark room. A hand hovers, then retreats, prioritizing a late night at the office over a family connection. Every choice begins with two invisible inputs, our attention and our assigned values. These pass through a bottleneck to produce a visible action. When that action drops into our timeline, it creates expanding ripples of consequences, altering future conditions. Our daily actions are the visible outputs of invisible algorithms we rarely take time to audit. When an artificial system runs without an audit of its weights, it produces hallucinations, confidently stated data that has detached from reality. In humans, these unaudited algorithms lead to the slow accumulation of regret. Regret delivers information we weren't ready to receive at the time of the choice, a data point revealing that our internal values were misaligned with the reality of the outcome. This is a biological version of backpropagation, an internal error message traveling backward through memory to update the legacy code of our habits. Ignoring that signal breaks the feedback loop, ensuring the system will continue to repeat the exact same errors in the next iteration. Moving toward clarity starts with isolating massive, tangled knots into single, manageable decisions. We can disrupt automatic behaviors with a 3-breath pause. This manual override creates a momentary space between a stimulus and our response. In that space, we apply a warmth test to evaluate whether our internal weights are optimizing strictly for visible success at the hidden cost of human connection. Real intelligence is the ability to manage the feedback loop, to look at the error margin and decide which internal weights are actually worth keeping. Since machines can only suggest corrections based on data, the human must still sign off on the result. We carry responsibility for these systems when we stop acting as passive observers of our algorithms and start acting as their auditors.